Hello people of the internet, welcome to my channel. In this video I'm gonna talk about how All Stars 5 almost perfectly predicted the all-winner season we know as All Stars 7. Now stay with me, because this is not a fun fact video, but a video that can reveal the original plan for the all-winner season and the last-minute change in casting. But before we start, let me introduce myself. My name is Max, not that one, and this is my first ever YouTube video, so please excuse if there are minor errors here. Furthermore, I want to give a shout out to the YouTuber you, who encouraged me to do my own videos and also gave me some tips before I made this one. Thank you so much, you're an inspiration to me. Now, let's get back into the video. You might think now, what does All Stars 5 have in common with All Stars 7? Except, of course, its winner, Shea Coulee. Well, let's look at All Stars 5 together, shall we? All Stars 5 premiered on June 5th, 2020 and had a total of 8 episodes and 10 contestants. For the sake of this video, let's travel back to that moment in time. 2020 was the first year we had to deal with the COVID pandemic. Back then, when everybody was at home, the first rumors about an alleged all-winner season started to spread. The idea of an all-winner season wasn't new back then, of course. For example, not you, already talked about that back in 2018. But this was the first time when people were talking about it as if it could actually happen. Several Reddit threads and YouTube videos floated around talking about the queens who were allegedly contacted for the all-winner season. I've seen several of them, but in research of this video I couldn't find any of those videos anymore except for one. Mera Mangle talked about those lists on her YouTube channel, which I shout out here, by the way. Great content, I love it. Those lists did turn out to be very inaccurate. Some queen who, according to rumors, already agreed to be on, weren't even asked to be on All Stars 7 in the end. But no matter if those rumors were true or false, the idea of an all-winner season happening in the near future was present in our heads. We talked about it so much that production of Drag Race took notice, and so did the queens. So I proposed to you the idea that production already were on the lookout for the cast of an all-winner season, and already showed us who they had their eyes on. And they sneakily showed it to us via All Stars 5. While they showed us Shea Coulee on the main series, they showed us all the other contestants on another medium of World of Wonder. That being the pit stop. Yes, that's right. While we were all talking about a possible all-winner season, World of Wonder already gave us an all-winner season on the pit stop. Trinity the Tuck, the Vivienne, Jinx Monsoon, Raja, Monet Exchange and Jada Essence Hall were all guests on the pit stop that season. This extends to Violet Chachki, who wasn't on All Star 7, but she did do the fashion for the review show instead of Raja this time. And also Bob the Drag Queen, who was the host of the pit stop for both seasons. Now, the clever listener might have already seen the error in this equation. Alaska's here and Evie's not. Let's talk about the queen first, who was missing from All Stars 7. Alaska. My idea is that Alaska was supposed to be on the original cast of the all-winner season. And I do have some ideas that strengthen this theory. First of all, Alaska is a big fan favorite who has a huge fan base who would love to see her back. And she would do it too. Second, at this point in time, Alaska was the golden child of World of Wonder. My third point is that she would already have a good storyline with Jinx Monsoon there. So what happened? To figure that out, we have to take a look at the time between Alaska's last pit stop appearance and the casting period of All Stars 7. It's not public knowledge when World of Wonder exactly reached out to their winners to cast them on the all-winner season. However, on one episode of Sibling Rivalry, Bob and Monet talked about it. Monet recently got the call, and from her talk with Bob we can deduce that it had to be somewhere before Simone was crowned and after Lawrence Chaney was crowned. Which means somewhere between the 18th of March and the 23rd of April 2021. So we have to take a look at roughly 9 months. It's definitely worth mentioning that the podcast Race Chaser, which Alaska co-hosts with Willem, kinda blew up during the pandemic. Which is not surprising, since a podcast is one of the few things you can produce from home, when you're limited in basically everything else in life. People in general started listening more to podcasts. Race Chaser is a pretty successful podcast. At that point in time, Race Chaser already covered 9 seasons of Drag Race, one of them being All Stars 5, which resulted in the creation of a podcast network and the expansion of the brand. One of those extensions is called The Chop, hosted by Latrice and Manila. The Chop basically works the same way as Race Chaser does. They cover every single episode of Rupauls Drag Race on a weekly basis. While Alaska and Willem talk about the main franchise, Latrice and Manila talk about the spin-off series. Furthermore, Race Chaser has already been awarded twice by the Queerties by that point. Which is good for them, but bad for World of Wonder, because they famously just accept one narrative. That being their own. And with a very outspoken queen with Willem on that podcast, Race Chaser soon turned out to be a huge pain in World of Wonder's ass. Also, and this is just a theory, a few months earlier, season 12 happened. With the thing. And then something else happened, that other thing. And World of Wonder probably didn't want to be attached to even more controversy at that moment. Anyway, for one reason or the other, World of Wonder dropped Alaska and had to put in somebody else. But whom? Well, we already know that they landed on Evie Oddly at the end. Which was very cool. We love Evie in this house, but how did they come from Alaska to Evie? Well, I think this decision is very logical. And I'm gonna show you why I think that is. Let's take a look at all the queens left who by that point won a season of Drag Race. I wanna single out and talk about Tyra first. She's a very special case. World of Wonder just never really appreciated her and even made fun of her in favor of a certain other queen. You can see that in the first episode of All Stars 7. Where they indicated that they replaced her with Raven as the Season 2 winner for fun, I guess. No wonder, pun intended, she called World of Wonder her abuser in a recent interview. Besides her, we still would have had 14 winners who would have been eligible to do an all-winner season at that point. Now let's get into the list, and by process of elimination, we will see how they finally landed on Evie. Let's remove the queens who were allegedly asked to be on the season but declined. I couldn't find the source anymore, but both Bianca and Trixie were both asked to be on that season but declined to do it for one reason or another. I vaguely remember that Bianca wouldn't do it because the winners weren't allowed to spend their free time in a house together. Let's eliminate the queens who were not judged by RuPaul before next. I'm sorry to all the fans of these queens out there, but I just don't think that RuPaul would be interested to judge a winner who he never saw before. And finally, let's remove Lawrence because, well, she just won and the Vivienne was already on the cast, so we didn't need another UK queen there. That leaves us with 7 perfectly fine options for the last spot. At that point, Violet's iconic appearance on the pit stop already happened, so she was reserved for Fashion Photo Review already. Furthermore, Bob would have been a good option, but she said several times that she wouldn't do the season unless the prize money was about $500,000, and somebody had to do the pit stop, so Bob is out too. And finally, BB already did an All-Star season, and it would have been not that exciting to have her back. Which leaves us with 4 queens. Out of that 4 queens, Evie is the obvious choice, because she was currently working with World of Wonder at Vegas Live. And for the case Evie would have declined, it would have been Aquaria, since Chad and Sasha said they didn't want to do another season in the past. Additionally, Evie Oddly is the drag sister / mother of Willow Pill, who won season 14, which just adds to it. I know, Willow didn't even know that she was on season 14 while Evie was preparing for the all-winner season. But the casting deadline for season 14 was already over, so World of Wonder at least had Willow's audition tape, so she was at least somehow present. So, here we have it, that's why Evie was the replacement for Alaska. Now, you may be thinking, this all seems very speculative. And you're very right, I have no evidence for my theory being true, only indicators. But I want to show you some other little thing that I noticed while making this video. For that, let's revisit the pit stop once again, shall we? For those who don't know, the pit stop host and their guests always talk a lot about the episode. It's then up to the editors to cut it and decide what's going to make the final cut. Which means we don't see and hear all they talked about. And it's very interesting that out of 8 pit stop episodes, in 4 the topic of an all-winner season was brought up and discussed. Bob talked about it with Jinx, Monet, Trinity and Violet. And the production team always kept it in. Which could be a coincidence, but at this point we have a lot of coincidences. I'd say 1 hint would be a coincidence. Several are a pattern. Thank you for sticking with me. I just want to say this video is supposed to be fun and not be taken too seriously. I also want to apologize for my English. That is not the best all the time, but I'm really trying. I want to thank all the people who helped me with this video. Also, please check out the artists. They all do amazing work. Especially TheDragBook. I can't believe how you do it, it's crazy. I will leave all the links to their sites in the description of the video. And if you liked it, stick around because there is a follow-up video coming up. I will talk about how All-Star 7 would have went if Alaska was there. So, see you in a bit I guess. Bye!